Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. Father, how are you?
Bless you.
How does it feel to be in a garb like that? Do you feel different when you put that collar on?
Oh, very different. I'm afraid to drink, drive over 30 miles an hour, swear. So I do it anyway.
And you, Sam, with the jewelry on.
Well, that's to let everybody know that we're still con men, because when you see us in the picture the first time,
Are you con men in the movie?
Yeah. If we went out like this, it would be sacrilegious. And we ain't about to do that. First, they see us as just regular guys at a bar, and we decided to enter the race as priests so we could con the cops, so. They ain't gonna bother a priest.
I want to know, you guys are in a car together, right?
Yes, we're in a Ferrari.
Who drives?
I do drive it.
Isn't it interesting that it happens to be an Italian car, Sam?
I not only think it's interesting, I think it's rather dull.
Was that your choosing, Dean, to be in a Ferrari?
No, it wasn't my choosing, because when he said get into the car, I could not find how to open the door.
True, man.
I was looking all over for the hand. You know where it is?
Where? No, I don't, on a Ferrari.
Way up in the corner, and all you have to do is that. I couldn't find it.
He was patting the car. He was stopping.
I was ready to open it. It was safe. It was...
How long has it been since you two guys have worked together? Was it the Vegas picture?
No. We
Are you
did.
speaking of pictures or just working together?
Oh, we worked together on a couple of benefit things, and because when the things still go together, we still get together. I told you that on the show. Unfortunately, with me traveling around, Dean's got, we all love each other, and we still see each other when we can, and we still have the greatest times in the world when we're together. But this was an opportunity for Dean and I to work together, and I wouldn't have missed. I canceled out dates so that I could come and do this picture with him, because I wanted to be with Dean again.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I mean that.
How many pictures did you guys do together? Although you did Ocean's 11.
I think 5.
Well, you did 5.
Yeah.
With you and Frank did 5. I was in 3 of them. You've done a lot.
Frank, did he die? Where is he?
You guys, now wait a minute. You're going to work with him, aren't you? Soon
Yes,
in
Atlantic City. That's right. He's not dead. I'm working with him in about a couple weeks. Go up to Atlantic City, work about 4 or 5 days, some hotel. I don't know what.
You don't know which one? It's resorts, isn't it?
I really don't care.
You don't care?
No, just as long as I'm with Frank, and maybe he'll sneak in somehow. I don't know.
You thinking about that?
Oh,
you never know with me.
Oh,
the guys will be in the middle of something. That's the nice thing. That still continues. I
We'll
know
walk
when he's
right on the floor.
right on the stage.
We do that in Vegas for each other.
I had to ask you because I had heard about something that you did, and it was hysterical, and I thought maybe somebody made it up, and I asked Sammy just calls to my show, and I said, I want you to substantiate something for me. And you, Martin, supposedly walked out on a stage with you in his arms and Sam with you, yeah? You remember what you did? What you said?
Yes. I held him in my arms, and I said, I want to thank the NAACP for this wonderful trophy. And he said, put me down.
What's the most bizarre thing that you guys did when you were doing that thing?
We can't say that on TV.
Can't you?
No.
Well, I tell you what we used to do.
Yeah.
I think the most bizarre things that we did was to have the kind of outrageous fun we had without hurting anybody. See, the kind of fun we had on stage and off, there were certain kind of rules and regulations that without them ever being written down. For instance, if a friend was in town in those days in Vegas, we'd finish, we had to go sit in the lounge, not because anyone told us to,
But then after that, we'd go down and catch a Rickles or whoever was cooking at the time, and go down and pick out. And where we moved, everybody moved.
Oh, yeah. So it was gang at the time. But the point is, nobody knew when you guys were together doing that thing, who was going to go on at any given time.
No.
We flipped the coin when we were at the Sands about who went on first once, and then we would alternate who was on first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I remember one day I was on first, and I did Frank's first two numbers. You know, Come Fly With Me, and I did Chicago, and they applaud, and he went on last. So he came on, and he said, Come Fly With Me, and he got through, and the people went like this. And he was going like this. Now he started, Chicago, Chicago. They went, he said, what the hell is going on here? The band leader told him, he said, Dean did both of your songs. So Frank said, oh, I play That's Amore, and he didn't know one word of That's Amore. He didn't even know that's. I got him with that.
You've done how many pictures? You've done almost 50 pictures.
56.
56 movies. Do you like picture work, Pete?
Oh, yeah, better than anything.
But what do you do between scenes when it's cut? Now they're going to set up, and you might be 2-3 hours.
I drink.
Smoke.
Usually I study my lines. That's what I do. Yeah. But I like making pictures. I think he loves being on the stage better. And
these
so
are
does
smaller
Frank.
pictures?
Well, it's
But what
nice
pictures do for you, though.
Yes, but of course, But what I'm saying, so here's this whole image, and I don't want to blow his image because he spent a lot of years building it up. But this man never...
Excuse me, Sam. Can you save these?
Huh? Yeah, it's depression. Well, this is good for your pipe, you know.
I'm sorry, Sam. That's okay. But I was just really going to say that this man is always on top of it. And that whole attitude of being loose as a goose. I said a line to him today. I wish you could say, excuse me. And that's his line. I was saying today that Dean has been walking the way he walks now ever since we first met each other.
40 years.
40 years, right? So he always walked that slow, easy way. I said, me, like an idiot. It took me up until about 7 years ago, because I was always, hi, jumping around. Now I'm walking like Dean. And that's where it's at.
I like when Sam did a thing on the show. I love when he sits down on a stool with the tap shoes. I know you've seen him do this.
Oh, sure.
He says, and he sounds like the brothers. What he does is, when you're 54, you don't just say, I'm going to dance. You say, maybe tomorrow I'm going to dance. He says, you warn your legs.
Warn your legs. I think we're going to dance now.
And the legs sometimes respond and say, no, we ain't.
No, we ain't. Better keep on singing Candyman.
You don't really, you're not choked up working. I mean, you never have been a workaholic. True or not true?
Oh, I worked so much. I did 56 pictures. I was on the air for 16 years.
I know, but I heard about the way you did the shows. And was it true that you used to put, is that one of ours?
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah. You used to put the tapes of your arrangements in your tape deck of your car?
Yeah, well, everybody, when I did my show, I used to come down on a Saturday and do it. And all the other stars said, this must be a very brilliant man. They know the whole show, but they didn't know that I had 3 tapes. One in the car for the show, one at Riviera Country Club, and one at home. So I used to rehearse 6 hours a day. And they thought I'd go down there on a Saturday and do the show just like that. But I made them think that.
But if Sam were coming on the show as a guest, you would never see him until
Saturday.
on the air.
Yeah.
That's right.
Good night. Did you set that precedent, or did you borrow that?
No, it just happened that way, because I didn't even want the show. I told my agent...
That's what I'm talking about. You never...
I told my agent, I said, I'll tell you, sure, I want the show. Tell them I want to own it 100%. I don't have to sing unless I want to. All I want, just introduce the people, and they'll throw you right out of the office. He called me 2 hours later. He says, you got a show. I was mad.
You own that show 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, isn't that nice?
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to run any tag days for old Dean, huh?
Oh, no.
You're like Bob Hope. You got a lot of land, too, haven't you?
Yeah, a little bit of land. What's the matter with him? What do you think? He's got peanuts? He only has 18 cars.
I know that. He was telling me, this is so cute, Sam was in there saying, you know, I'm really changing my ways. He said, I'm going to sell this car, and he was telling me about that car, and another car, he's going to sell 3 cars, and then 2 seconds later he said, and I'm going to get that Mercedes station wagon. He had about 3 others ordered. I said, why? He said, I want to hear it go. He had that sound all rehearsed.
Good sound, boy. Yeah.
Are you guys influenced at this stage in your lives, either one of you, by the things people write and say about you? Are you still affected by things like that?
I don't pay any attention to it. Oh, what else can they write about him or me? Nothing can hurt us.
That's been proven.
I don't understand how any writer can say something awful about somebody just starting. That hurts a person, 20, 21 years old.
Yeah.
Why dig them? Give them the digs. Let them make a mistake. Don't, make them feel bad. Give them a little uplift instead of pushing them into the ground.
That, somebody heard, I think it was Truman Capote talking about that. That is kind of the American way. He said in Europe and other places in the world, they revere their stars and their Dean Martins and their Sammy Davises, and the critics don't go after them. And I think he used as a reference, Tennessee Williams had written a play, and the man, look at his past, the man's a genius, and the play was just not a blockbuster, but they just tore it apart and tore him apart. Well, man, he should be revered, this man, according to Truman Capote. And it's not the American way. It's put you up there and it kind of...
No, I think that the people who are honest with their public, this man's been a star for more years than I care to remember. He's been the same man. He has not changed. He's gotten warmer, if that's possible.
Oh, I'm hot right now.
But I'm saying...
I want you to hear my confession before you leave, too.
But I'm just saying to you that I think the public trusts people.
Yeah. What is that? What are you guys drinking?
Just Coca-Cola.
Oh, give me some thirsty. No, that's not the Coke I'm used to.
I wouldn't touch that line.
No. Oh, isn't that? Oh, I didn't mean it that way.
No. He top out of it. He heard of it.
You, really?
Yeah, you're not the guy that you seem to be on TV.
He sure has changed since he left Philadelphia, boy.
You didn't have with your little spoon.
Oh, I'll never live that one down. Oh, and look at who I said it to.
They invented the term crazy people. They must have had Americans in mind.
Just put us on anything that moves, and we'll break our necks
To break records.
Don't ask why, but we've got this built-in burning obsession about conquering speed and distance. We're flipped out, pumped up, dizzy, and head over heels in love with every whiplash and compound fracture along the way. The bigger the risks, the better we like them. Case in point, the wildest wide-open cross-country road race of them all, the Cannonball Sea to Shining Sea Memorial Trophy Dash, the Cannonball Run. Nothing between contestants and the finish line except 3,000 miles of U.S. real estate and a few thousand cops with no sense of humor. Sure, you're going to be out of your mind to get mixed up in a race like this, but that's not nearly as nuts as hiring Burt Reynolds and half of Hollywood and then laying out $20 million to recreate the Cannonball on a movie screen. Climb in and see for yourself. Buckle up and hang on for dear life with the racers, the chasers, and the Cannonball Crazies. upon a time, a car-freak screenwriter named Brock Yates got together with a couple of buddies and lifted a few beers too many. The outcome, besides a bad hangover, was a new milestone in creative American lawbreaking.
It's an illegal event called the Cannonball Run. And what's marvelous about it are the people who go into the Cannonball do it for no other reason but to win a race. There's no trophies, there's no awards, and there's really not much notoriety. The truth, in fact, is that every cop knows that this race is starting in Darien, Connecticut, and ending up in Redondo Beach. It's 3,000 open, naked miles with these wackos and lunatics trying to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible.
It's an assault on rules. I'm inclined to believe, being a closet anarchist, I think that we are being overwhelmed by rules in America, and in particular the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit and all of that attendant nonsense. And I thought it was a good chance to tweak the folks a little bit out there in the real world.
There's nothing big budget about the running of the real Cannonball. It's literally men, their machines, and fast food hamburgers along the way. But try to make a movie about the race, and suddenly you're talking 20 million big ones. A huge chunk of it just to support hundreds of cast and crew members on location in Georgia and in California. And then there are the more than considerable fees demanded by this man here, the one who gave the world Smokey and the Bandit, stuntman director HAL NEEDHAM.
When we agreed to do this picture together, I said to Hal, this is it. This is our swan song together with me in a car driving over 35 miles an hour. And so if we're going to do it, let's do it bigger and grander and faster and better than we've ever done it before. We just set out to have a hell of a lot of fun.
Now bring my
Back in the real Cannonball, Needham and Brock Yates raced together as partners. They were in a souped-up van disguised as an ambulance, complete with a phony patient and a real doctor in the back to fool police.
Now, we have the very same van that Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise race in the movie. And yes, that is a remarkably healthy-looking Farrah Fawcett playing bogus sick lady under the watchful eye, though nobody's sure which one, of Mad Dr. Jack Elam. Writer Yates says the script and characters are based on what he and Needham actually encountered in the real race. Well, sort of.
Well, the movie is best described as a compendium of characters and mood and atmosphere that the Cannonball really represented. All kinds of people run in this thing, and the people that are in the picture represent a kind of state of mind, but carried beyond over center a little bit. We're on a beer, Victor.